Before the video starts, I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm giving away 2 secrets in my Discord server, and the giveaway is going to end in a little bit under 12 hours as you're watching this video. So if you want to get in on that before it ends, Discord link is in the description, and enjoy the video. So it's been almost 3 days since I uploaded. Time sure does fly, huh? Sorry about that, but there's just like really nothing to do on this game. And I do have other content planned in the future. Well, not in the future, like pretty soon. I have some other stuff that I'm going to cover, but there's just been nothing to do on Anime Defenders, bro. But while we, pass the time for a new update to come, we're going to be doing a unit review on the Demon Overlord. Now, this time I actually evolved him. Some of you might have remembered that I made an entire showcase on him and I forgot to evolve him, which was a little bit embarrassing, but yeah, we're here now and we're gonna do it. The Demon Overlord, this guy is a secret from the portals. You can grind portals to get this guy. He's a free-to-play secret. We have Divine Spirit and Sonic on him. Shout out to this lovely subscriber of mine. We're gonna put his Discord on the screen. If it wasn't for him letting me use his account, I would not be able to do this showcase. And he's ground, decent damage, 2k to place. And his gimmick is that he buffs all your burn/bleed units by 50%, including himself. If you have like another guy right next to him, like a copy of himself right next to him. So if you're new to unit review, what we're going to do is put this unit through every single piece of content in this game. That's going to include raids, Tower of Eternity, Hall of Mirrors, challenges, story mode, and infinite mode. We're going to be giving him a rating from 1 through 10 on each of these game modes and determining whether or not he's worth it for you guys to grind for. So with all that being said, let's get right into the reviews. Alright, so how does this guy do in raids? Well, he is a ground unit, meaning that he can't hit any airs. This little backwards effect is just a spirit. This isn't actually him. But, yeah, he's only ground unit, meaning you're not going to be able to take him into every single raid in the game. Like, I'm talking about the new one specifically that has some flying units. You will need to bring some type of backup to deal with air enemies, but off placement, he's doing pretty decent damage. 4.7k, almost 5k, and as you can see, he buffs himself by 50% as long as you have other copies of him right next to him. Doing pretty decent bleed damage, and he's more than good enough to solo early game, and he can definitely solo late game as well. So for raids, I'm not going to give him a super duper high rating just because he is a ground unit, and his main gimmick is that he's a support secret anyway. Still, he's not the worst thing that you could use, and he still is a secret. We're going to be giving him a 6 out of 10 for raids, and let's move on. So how does he do in Hall of Mirrors? Well, this is definitely not one of his strong suits because he is pretty expensive to place, coming in at 2k. He's not hybrid, meaning that you're going to have to be wasting even more money to deal with air units on top of the money you already spent on this guy, and he's only 3 placement. The 3 placement bit doesn't really matter as much because you can get away with using 3 placement units in Hall of Mirrors, but having a damage dealer or a 2k cost unit, he's pretty expensive to place and upgrade, especially when you have to worry about other lanes. The fact that he's ground only, like sure he's a support and he can buff your other units, but at the same time it's just not very cost effective to be having this guy on your team for Hall of Mirrors. This is definitely one of his weaker points. So he gets a 4 out of 10 for Hall of Mirrors, and let's move on. Okay, now we're going to be judging this guy's performance in Tower of Eternity, and the fact that he has a little multi-hit move, you see like off rip he has a multi-hit, is pretty good. On top of that, his bleed damage, it bypasses the little blue health bar. As you can see, it just ticks directly through. So he's honestly not that bad of a pick for Hall of Mirrors, all things considered. He buffs himself, he buffs other units, he does pretty decent damage, and he is dealing with these shielded enemies just fine. Once again, his Achilles heel here really is just the fact that he can't hit air units at all. So, why rock this guy if you could just bring a hybrid unit that can not only deal with shields, but can also deal with any enemy type? Still, he's actually not that bad, all things considered. Yeah, like even as a support unit, he'd serve you well. So I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10 for Tower of Eternity, and let's move on. Next up, we're gonna judge his performance in challenges, and he's a secret. he does mad damage off placement. Once again, he's just not able to hit air units, but besides that, he can carry you through literally any challenge in this game. Doesn't really matter. We could be on the hardest story mode map and he'd still be one-tapping units, but he still loses a few points just because he can't hit airs. You know, that little extra bit of time and money you're gonna have to spend to deal with air units does deduct him some points. So we're gonna give him a 7 out of 10 for challenges, and let's go on to the next one. Okay, next up we have story mode, and you know, he really doesn't struggle in story mode. Right now we're on the hardest map in the game, Crystal Cove, and he has multi-hit off placement. It's a pretty decent multi-hit too, so he can deal with the little enemies that spawn in after one of them dies. And again, we're going to give him the same rating as we gave him in challenges. He just can't hit air units, but besides that, he can pretty much hard carry your team. So another 7 out of 10, and let's move into our final rating, Infinite Mode. Okay, and now we're gonna do the Infinite Mode showcase. So off placement, he's doing 4.7k damage every 4.3 seconds with pretty mid-range, only 17.6. Let's upgrade him 2 more times. Now he gets a move called Blood Barrage. This is a nice little multi-hit move. It's circle AoE, doing 10.4k damage with better range, but it's still pretty mid. Upgrade him 2 more times. Now he gets Blood Punishment. Pretty sure this is a single hit move. Let's watch that one more time. Actually, I don't even know what that is. His bleed damage just makes it really hard to tell. Upgrade him 2 more times. Now he gets Blood Release. He gets a nice little multi. I'm assuming that's multi-hit. That definitely looks like a multi-hit attack. Yeah, that is multi-hit. How many hits it is, I don't know, but it's multi-hit. 19.7k every 5.8 seconds. Range is getting a little better. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now he gets Blood Ball. That looks like single hit to me. Let's look a little bit more closely. That is definitely single hit. Upgrade him 2 more times. Now he gets Red Moon. Pretty cool looking attack. Let's get him to max. Yeah, a Red Moon. He summons a big red orb in the sky, and it just, you know, rains period blood down on the enemies. Pretty cool looking attack, I have to say. This is my first time seeing it, and I am thoroughly impressed. I like the little effects and the splashes all over the map. Also, if you place another one of him right next to him, he buffs himself by 50%, which is a nice addition. If you have like Unique or something on, not Unique, what is it? Almighty, that's not gonna work, but you know, this guy's not even a good unit to put Almighty on anyway. But yeah, on max, he's doing almost 30k damage every 6.1 seconds. Keep in mind, we do have Sonic on him, so he is attacking a little bit faster. Overall, not the greatest stats for a secret unit to have. This is like more along the lines of a mythic unit. And reason for that is just because he is meant to be a support secret. That is his entire shtick. That is his gimmick. The fact that he can give you that little 50% buff on all your bleed and burn units, that's what makes him a secret. So for Infinite Mode, he's probably not the best option to go with, albeit there are worse picks than him. But the fact that he can buff your units doesn't really mean much when all the meta Infinite units don't need a 50% bleed or burn buff to begin with. Like, they're fine on their own, and if you're really going to be going on Infinite Mode runs, this guy is just going to be more of a burden than he is helpful. So with all that being said, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 for Infinite Mode, and let's move into our closing thoughts. Okay, so now that we've showcased him in every single game mode and given him a rating, what do I think his overall rating is? I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I was debating between giving him a 5 out of 10 and a 6 out of 10, but I'll be generous and give him a 6 out of 10. The reason I'm going to give him that is just because his little buff ability on some very niche scenarios might be useful, maybe for damage farming or leaderboard farm, like leaderboard damage runs. Maybe. That's a pretty big outlier though. But if you ask me, I'll give him a 6, but I'm leaning a little bit towards 5. And that is gonna wrap up our unit review on the Demon Overlord. What are our closing thoughts? Is this guy worth it or not for you guys to summon? Not summon, to grind for. Honestly, no. This guy takes a good amount of work to get. You have to grind the evil materials, you have to grind the portals, and all that to get a secret that isn't even the best in class for most of the things that he's quote-unquote supposed to be good at. if you want a niche support unit and you just want to have them on your team, you know, be my guest, knock yourself out. But there are way better portal secrets. Cough cough, Curse Berserker Paladin. Cough cough, where is she? Yeah, Cough Cough Lunar Empress, who are way more worth your time than this guy is. So, yeah, I don't think he's worth it to grind. That's our final rating, and that is going to wrap up our video. If you enjoyed the video, learned anything new, or just liked hearing me talk about the game, feel free to like, sub, and comment. Make sure you join the Discord link in the description if you want to make it for the giveaway on time. And that's it from me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content. We will catch you in the next one.